and welcome to coinoperatedpress.
I hope you all enjoyed our Christmas fair over the weekend. I'm here to just answer some of the interview questions that we sent out to our stall holders. So let's just get started. Question one is, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. So I'm Katie and I own coinoperatedpress with Chloe, and I run the admin side of things more, and Chloe runs the more artsy side of the business. Before I started coinoperatedpress, I was a theatre manager at Leith Theatre in Edinburgh and an English teacher overseas before that.
So my name is Chloe Henderson and I'm an interdisciplinary artist from Edinburgh. I did my Masters at the Birmingham School of Jewellery and my undergrad at the Duncan of Jordanstone College of Art and Design at the University of Dundee. I'm now an illustrator, a zine maker, a photographer, filmmaker, jeweler. I like all forms of art and I like to dabble in different forms. I mostly illustrate and I mostly make zines, but I make the odd bit of jewellery as well. And of course a little bit of filmmaking, as you can see here. My art is inspired by the natural world, feminism, mythology, fairy tales, and basically the radical idea that humans should be kind to every living thing.
Question two, what do zines mean to you? I really like zines because they're a way to be creative and have a creative outlet that means that you don't have to be perfect and a fine artist to just make something. I really like how accessible they are, and I like how they create an accessible way to get information regarding like human rights, trans issues, LGBT issues and politics in general. I also really like them for like the communities that they build.
Zines are an accessible way to share my thoughts on my interests in niche topics that the mainstream media doesn't often cover, and I think that part's quite important. Because popular media doesn't talk about these subjects often, it means that zines have this little niche where they get to basically run with ideas that aren't really covered, and I think it's the weirdos like myself and Katie that end up flitting towards zines because they talk about things that we're interested in and things that we don't often see, and I think that's really important. Also, zines are self-published, so anyone can make them, and anyone regardless of ability can make a zine, which is why I really love them. I love the versatility that they have.
Number three, how did you first get started in zines? I think Chloe introduced me to them actually. I'd heard of them through, like for years, through the music that I was interested in because I listened to a lot of punk music. I'd read this book called Tranny, and it's a really long title, by Laura Jane Grace. And she used to make her own zine. I think that was where I first really started getting interested in it. And then Chloe for a while had been really into zines and she encouraged me to start making my own.
So my first encounter with zines was submitting my artwork to this copy of Artificial Bloom, which is a zine created by Anna Hine. And let me see if I can find my actual artwork. Ta-da! It's me. So yeah, I submitted to this zine and that was really my first encounter with zines, I think. I'd sort of heard of them before, I kind of knew what they were, but I'd never really researched them properly or got into them, and from this I received a copy of the zine after I'd submitted and I just loved it so much and it really made me want to make my own. So yeah, thank you Anna. Without this little submission I'm not sure if I would have got started on this journey, and I'm really grateful because I love zines, they're fantastic. So thank you for letting me be a part of this and sending it to me so I could just get really infected by the zine world, and yeah, I love it, so thank you.
Number four is, how would you build the perfect snowman? I don't think that I would build a snowman out of snow. I really don't like the cold. I think that I would find some vegan marshmallows somewhere and build my snowman out of marshmallows and have hot chocolate in bed. I think that would be the best snowman.
So I forgot this question was in here. I'm not sure if you'd call it perfect, but I'm gonna insert an image on screen just now. And this is probably the best snowman that my family's ever made, which, considering what it looks like, is kind of terrifying because this snowman is haunting. The expression on its face is so weird. It's because we used a stick for its mouth and it just, yeah, it's quite creepy. The glasses that you can see on its face are my granddad's, and I think we tried to make this look like my granddad. We'd gone up to their house on one of the years that it snowed really heavily and they weren't in at the time. So we waited outside and the bench that you can see the snowman sitting on is just outside their house. So yeah, we'd made this snowman for them, and yeah, it's probably the most haunting snowman you'll ever see, so enjoy!
Number 5, tell us about your zines. I make zines that are about whatever I'm interested in, so I've made a few music zines and a few political zines. I made one recently about self-care during the election, and I've made a few self-care zines in the past. I use zines as a creative mental health artsy outlet, so I kind of just make them about whatever's on my mind at the moment. Usually I don't make them to sell in our store, I just make them for myself.
So my zines don't have one topic or another. I make zines about everything that I'm interested in. I've got a little selection with me just now that I'll show you, but I have no particular topic that I tend to focus on, and yeah, they're all a bit random, so like feminism, geocaching, cats, mythology, how to draw, everything. I make zines about everything that I'm interested in. So for example, cats. This is my cat spotting guide, and I write little stories about the cats that I encounter and take pictures of. This one is the Chimera artist, so it talks about my art that I made at my MA at the Birmingham School of Jewellery. I made a film and I made weird costumes and it was great fun, so this is my little zine documenting that art project. This one is how to get the most out of art school, which I wrote after my undergrad in Dundee, and it's a little bit reflective and talks about all the things that I wish I'd done and the things that I did do while I was there. So this is, yeah, my experiences with art school. And that's just a little overview of the kind of zines that I make. And I also brought out coinoperatedpress's copy of Quarantine, because while you guys submit all of the amazing work that is inside this zine is fantastic, all of our zines have been so great so far. I mean, I'll be a little bit biased because we make them, but you guys submit really fantastic work to our zines and we're so proud of all of them. But I'm the one that basically takes all of your work and digitizes it and makes it into a zine. That's my job. I create the artwork for the front and I put it all together. So yeah, these are also the zines that I make for coinoperatedpress.
Number 6 is, what resources do you use to create your zines? Tell us about your creative process. I really like cut and paste zines, mostly because I'm not that great with technology. I just like getting messy in the process of cutting things out of magazines and using PVA glue and whatever resources I have to hand. So I've just recently made a zine page from old wrapping paper that I had left over from Christmas. And I've got like a bunch of magazines that people have given to me over the years, and some vintage magazines that I collected from my grandma's house. Just whatever I have to hand really, but always physical things, not digital. I just feel like it's more cathartic really to make it a DIY cut and paste physical zine.
The main resources that I use are my hands. I make most of my zines with pen and paper, illustrations, collage, and then I'll take it into the computer and use it digitally. So using like Photoshop and programs like that to transform it from something handmade to something digitized that can be printed as a zine. So for example, Has Issues is one of my zines, and you can see that it's cut and paste from magazines, and then I've taken pictures of it and put it into Photoshop to create into this type of zine, similar to my Munich Jewellery Week one, where I made the actual zine by hand and I wrote out all of the text but the images that you can see, the photographs, I've put them in digitally after I'd made the zine. And with the coin-operated press zines, obviously your submissions come in through our emails, so these are made mostly purely digitally. Like, for example, I drew this little dice, so that was illustrated, but the rest of it is, yeah, they're made digitally. So I'll put all of this together digitally in Photoshop. But for example, Jahan, or my partner Stuart, drew this by hand, and then it's been photographed and popped in Photoshop. Same with my own artwork. I'll have illustrated this and then put it into the computer, digitized it, and made it into the zine that you buy. So yeah, most of my process is done through illustration and by hand, because art making is, yeah, the reason that I do this is part of my process. But then, yeah, to make it something like this little booklet, it needs to go in digitally, and it goes into Photoshop, and I put it all together, and yeah. That's my process. A little bit rambly there, but I hope you got the point.
Question 7. Do you have any advice for newbie zine makers? I think what we did was we went to a bunch of zine fairs and we met up with fellow zine makers. I think that was really the best thing that we could have done, was like do zine swaps and meet up with your fellow artists, because you'll find a great community around you who are really supportive, and you'll get more art ideas from talking to these people as well. It's always good to share resources and ideas.
My basic advice, just start. It sounds obvious and simple, but that really is the best advice that I can give you. Just start making your zines. And remember that your first zines probably will be rubbish. I know my first zine was, but don't be worried about those first zines being rubbish, because nobody needs to see them. The practice zines are sometimes the best ones because we learn from them, and even though we're not happy with them and they're rubbish and they make you feel like, oh, I'm terrible at art, why did I even start this? You then learn from that and create something even better. So yeah, just start and try not to be worried about the things that you mess up, because you'll learn from that, and you might be able to even like physically cut and paste that and put it into new zines, and yeah, you'll create something amazing out of your messy parts. So yeah, just start. Make zines, go, now, after this video, go and make a zine.
Number 8, can you tell us your favourite cracker joke? I don't know any jokes, and I don't really get Christmas crackers because I try and be as eco-friendly as possible, and I think that Christmas crackers just, they're really crappy, really, aren't they? You know, they're just rubbish bits of plastic that you're just not going to use again, so I don't get Christmas crackers, and I don't know any jokes, really.
I'm not sure if this is a Christmas cracker joke per se, but this was like my favourite bad joke. So, what is green and invisible? This cabbage. Yeah, try to contain your laughter. I know, that was hilarious.
Question 9. What is your favourite thing about zine culture? Definitely the community that we've built around coin-operated-press, and I like the fact that, as I was saying earlier, zines are accessible, and that, you know, they're a good introduction to politics and human rights issues.
I like that zines can focus on the little things that I obsess over, and I can get them out of my head and into the physical world, and then find other folks that like the same weird things I like Katie. Through zines we've started a business, and that's fantastic. We're making art together, and without them we probably wouldn't have done something like this. So that is my favourite thing about zines. Their versatility, their nicheness, and how they bring people together. Bring the weirdos together, I should say.
Question 10. Do you have a favourite zine or zinester? I tend to just collect zines randomly. Like, my girlfriend bought me some zines for my birthday, and Chloe made me a zine for my birthday, and then I got gifted some when we went to a zine fair in Birmingham, I think last year or the year before. So I don't really have a favourite zine in particular. I just like zines in general because of the art and community that they provide.
It's kind of hard to pick just one or even a handful, so I went through my little zine collection, which is up here, and picked out these 3, so I'll talk through these at the moment. So the first one that I picked out is this one, and it's by the awesome folks at ENQUIRIES, who myself and Katie met at a random little arts market that was rubbish. Nobody turned up to it, but the best part about it is it means that we got to talk to all of the stall holders, and that was really cool, meeting loads of artists. So we met these guys there, and I bought this, and yeah, I really love what they're doing. I'm not a cyclist, so while a lot of their content is geared towards cycling, literally, pardon the pun, I really enjoy the content that they put out on their Instagram and their zines, so yeah, I'd highly recommend checking these guys out. Another one that I really like are Femmes. They make collaborative zines. I think it's monthly, although I'm not 100% sure. I submitted to this one, my work's in here. And yeah, I try and order every copy of their zine because I really enjoy the work. They're good chunky zines, as you can see, and the work inside is always fantastic. They're a really great collaborative zine. And the final one that I brought out is this. This is by Cotton Paw, who were stall holders in our Festive fair, which is awesome. I'm so glad they applied to be in our fair because I really love their work, so I got to fangirl over that. It was awesome. So this is their zine, Cough Drop Circus, and it's a really great collection of poetry, and their illustrations are really cool as well, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's difficult to pick just a few zine stars. There's so many zines and so many zine makers that are really great and deserving to be talked about, but these are the 3 that I've brought up just now. I'm sure if you ask me this question tomorrow it'll be different, so yeah, we'll make sure to answer this question again. Also, if you want to check out the zines that we really like, on our Instagram there's a story highlight that's called like Zines We Love. So you can check out all of the zines that we're really into, and I've got some really great suggestions of zines that you can check out yourself.
Question 11, why do you make zines? I think that I've probably covered it in, past questions, but it's an accessible way to kind of vent my frustrations and as a mental health outlet,
It's a really hard question to answer. I guess it's similar to the question, why do I make art? And the real answer is because I make art. It sounds stupid, it's because I have to. Art is such a fundamental part of my world, my life. I need to make art, and zines are very much a part of that. They're a way for me to communicate my thoughts, ideas, illustrations, my artwork. And as someone who is very socially anxious and really struggles to communicate with people when I'm not hidden behind a camera and out in real life, zines are something that I can use to document my thoughts and the things I want to share with people, and yeah, actually get them out into the world. That's why I make zines, I think, to share my thoughts and get out all of the things that are in my head and actually make art and put things out into the world that I think are good. So I hope you enjoy them too, I guess. Is that why I make zines? I don't know. This question's hard to answer. I make art because I need to, so I make zines because I need to. That sounds right. I think that's the answer to this question.
Question 12, how are you celebrating the holiday season? I'm staying at home in Scotland with my fiance. She's working, and we're gonna just have Christmas dinner here and probably Skype our families, but just a quiet one this year. We're staying inside.
So normally we'd celebrate the holiday season by going out on Christmas Eve for dinner with my mum and dad, my brother and his girlfriend, myself and Stuart, and my grandparents, and we pick a different place every year, and that's our little Christmas Eve tradition. We go out for a nice dinner together. That's not gonna happen this year because you can only have 6 people and there's 8 of us, so that wouldn't be ideal. We're not just gonna like ditch 2 people, so we're not doing that this year. And then on Christmas Day itself, it'll be kind of normal for us. We'll be going around to my parents' house, which is what happens every year. Normally there's more family than there'll be this year. Obviously can't invite everybody But most of us will, well, the main, my like close family will be there, and we'll spend the day doing presents and eating lots of food and playing stupid games, and yeah, generally just having a nice day. And then we do the same thing on Boxing Day. It's basically like Christmas part 2 but a little bit more chilled out, and we do that every single year. That's basically how we spend our festive season. Normally we go out and visit the Edinburgh Christmas market and check all of that stuff out, and we'll do the same on New Year's. We've been doing the street party for the past few years, but again, we won't be doing that this time. I don't even know what we're doing for Hogmanay this time. But yeah, my festive season is just spending it with family. None of us are religious, so we don't celebrate that side of Christmas. We just chill out together and do all the fun stuff, enjoy all the nice food and give presents, and yeah, have a nice merry season. That's basically how we spend our Christmas. So yeah, from me, have a blithe Yule.
Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. I hope that you had a really good time over the weekend and that you enjoyed our very first zine fair. We're really excited to put more on soon, and we're really excited to hopefully have real life in public ones so that we can see all your lovely faces. And happy holidays, have a great Christmas if you celebrate it, just have a lovely safe winter.
Thank you for watching our interviews. I hope you enjoyed getting to know us a little bit more, and I hope it's inspired you to make zines or make more zines. If you want to learn more about coinoperatedpress, check out our website and our socials. It's all linked in the description below, and do follow us to make sure you keep up with all of the awesome zine things that we're doing. And do be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more zine related content from us on YouTube. We make loads of videos like this and they're fantastic. And don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you never miss a video from us. But until then, I hope you guys have a great festive season, whatever you celebrate, and I hope you enjoy your winter. That's all from us for today, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!